Good morning, guys. This is AW in the very early AM, and it is also very cold within my living room. So hopefully I can do this video in one shot and get back underneath my covers. But what you guys are here to discuss is a glitch having to do with Molly's Sugu-bug. We're going to be showing this from a game that I played on Twitch. It was Molly on Molly action on a dual map. He's only on King difficulty, as I don't want to have too much trouble replicating the glitch, because that's what's most important here. But he needs to be strong enough just to be able to actually do his simming up. I needed him to build his own Sugu-bug. This glitch will also work with anybody else's commercial hub, but yeah, I used him just for the guarantee. That being said, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. Check me out on twitch.tv/AquariusWolf. You should recognize the profile picture. It's the same. And with that, we'll just get into the game. And I'll tell you all about how I discovered it and what you got to do to do it. So, what you got to do to do it? What you have to do to replicate it. All right, let's get into the video. So, as it started out, about I would say the late part of last year, I ended up playing in a game as Molly and ended up dominating a few German cities that I won in a liberation war. Rome had taken them over previously, and Germany wanted revenge, and I was more than happy to oblige them, except for I didn't return the cities. Fast forward to the end of that game, I ended up going from a military conquest into pivoting towards culture, as often I do, and noticed that the two cities I had taken were simply able to buy rock bands at a further 20% discount than I would have expected from the Sugu-bug. Now, at the time, I could not figure out what was going on with that. I hadn't noticed it till the end of the game, so I wasn't sure what part of anything that I had done had actually made that effect. But because it was 20% on the dot, and nobody could figure out what else it was, we all had assumed that it was pretty much something to do with Sugu-bug. Well, eventually we gave up on it and decided to just come back to it later whenever I did play with him. So 3 months prior to now, I pick him back up, and once again, Germany's involved. And eventually I find myself into a war with him, and I end up taking a city from him. And I'll show that later, that actual file. I take the city of Cologne, which has a commercial hub in it that I had completely pillaged down into the ground. The reason that's important is that's because that is the prerequisite for this glitch to actually work. It needs to be an enemy city, somebody else's city, and I haven't tested whether it works on city-states, but I imagine it's the same way. It has an actual commercial hub. You need to be able to pillage this commercial hub, or Sugu-bug, doesn't matter, down in completely. Just straight to broken, all the way down to the district. From there, you need to actually capture said city. When you repair what is now your Sugu-bug, because you're Molly, when you repair that, the activation effect for the 20% discount will then apply again, making it from 20 faith and 20 gold discount, percentage-wise, into 40%. Now, most of you already know that Molly has pretty good interaction with the city-state, a militaristic one called Sugu-bug. And if you don't know what that is, then I'm here to give you a little bit of a refresher, as well as maybe some niche details that some people aren't aware of. So Sugu-bug is a city-state that reads, it's suzerain bonus, it reads that land combat or support units are 20% cheaper to purchase with gold for each encampment district building in that city. Fun fact, the discount purchase on this also applies to faith as well. So think Grandmaster's Chapel, think Heroes. They work on that just as well. So what this implies is that if a city has a barracks inside of its encampment, it's 20% off. For discount. If it has an armory, then it's 40% off. And if it's a military academy, then it's 60% off. Now, this interaction isn't new. If if anybody's aware of like videos about Molly that have been around by, I don't know, more prominent YouTubers or people on Twitch, then you probably know that Ngaza goes really well with Molly because of how much discount you can possibly have. For example, if you're in Theocracy and you have a Sugu-bug and you have a fully filled out encampment along with the city-state in Ngaza, then you can purchase units with Faith for only 5% of the original cost. If you're in Democracy, then you can do it the same with Gold at 5% of the original cost. But in this example, with the glitched Sugu-bug, you wouldn't need in either government. Theocracy and Democracy don't matter. In fact, the percentages do add up, in fact, to 100%. So it's actually completely possible to buy units for no cost at all. Faith or Gold or otherwise. Doesn't matter if it's a core or army. In fact, let me show you. And here we are with the map where I actually discovered the glitch. We already have the city-state that we were talking about in Ngaza and right here, which is very convenient for the point of this lesson. Let's start off by looking at Niani. Niani has an encampment within Ngaza and it has a Sugu-bug, right? And this second city we're going to compare, which is the previously German city of Cologne, and it also has the same exact things, but its Sugu-bug is glitched. So if we take a look at the settler and the builder cost in Niani, 1120, 835, right? And these will be for any of them, but let's just use those as an example. We go down to Cologne, we take a look at it, and we're looking at 840 and 625, which is directly another 20% drop, letting you know that the Sugu-bug is effectively broken here. If we look at the unit count, or the unit cost, I should say, we're looking at modern armor, which is, it's about 20% left of the cost, left from the base, rounded down to 540, I believe, because I think it's like 544 or something like that, back when I did the math. If we look at Cologne, though, everything is 0. All the military units are 0. Every goddamn one. So I don't really know why this happens. My going theory is that even when a Sugu-bug is pillaged in your own cities, for example, you're still getting the discount on everything. So it just applies like a citywide effect that just stays active, regardless of the status of the Sugu-bug. So when you capture somebody else's pillaged commercial hub and it becomes a Sugu-bug, that effect is still in there. However, when you repair said district, my going theory is that it applies it for a second time on top of it. I really don't know anything about like how it's coded though. That's just my guess. But yeah, guys, I hope this was somewhat enlightening, and my hope is that you go out there with Molly, kick some ass, steal some commercial hubs, and find a way to purchase your units for free. But I don't think I have anything else to say more on the matter. So yeah, take care of yourselves, be well, peace out. I have to repair it. Here, you can notice it a little bit right now. So a completely workable Sugu-bug lowers the cost of everything in here, right? Like, this is normally 320 gold for a horseman, but now it's 255, right? However, this one's pillaged. This Sugu-bug is broken, but yet you can still buy horses for 255 gold. It's weird, right? So what happens when you repair it? I wonder. Starting to make sense now? Oh, that's weird. My already discounted 255 gold horseman is now 190 gold instead. Huh. That's really interesting. How did that happen?